And we're live. Yep, everything. People can hear me. That's good. Hello! Welcome to the newly revamped Tales of Misadventure, where we bring you all sorts of sorted tales from all walks of tabletop RPG. I have 4 fantastic players, Danny, Salttook, and Connor, who will be joining us next episode. We have been newly renovated, new logo, who dis, and we are raising money for a great cause all summer long. So, I'm going to let my players introduce themselves. Danny's familiar, obviously, and Connor's not here at the moment, but you've seen him before, I promise. Yeah, got any cool things you want to share?
No. Hello, everybody. I am Took, I guess, or Tookie, or whatever you would like to call me. And I am on all sorts of other podcasts, in tabletop shows and whatnot. And recently, I have been on this D&D podcast by the name of Stories Told Again. Being a sweet bean of a character over there, which is normally what I don't play, or I would like to say that. So you can go check us out on Spotify or YouTube at Story Told Again.
Awesome. And Salty.
I am Salty, or Saltiest of Unicorns on TikTok, if you choose to want to try and find me there. And I am playing a young investigator who believes that science is everything and magic is just science that has not been discovered yet. And is very curious. We'll see how curious this gets.
Is she wrong? Is she wrong, though?
I mean, cell phones would have been considered magic and people would have been burned to the stake 100 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And Danny.
Hi, I'm Danny. You can find me on Paladin Punk on almost anything. I am also on Tales. I've been on Misadventures before. We came back, so I'm excited to be here. We're also on Tales with Raz before this. So you should come check us out on Tuesdays.
You should. A bunch of things just happened to Danny, in fact, last episode. And I don't even get to know. Things. I don't get to know what they were.
No.
It's rude.
We'll find out. Probably next time.
I'll find out next
time. You can also find me on YouTube channel. September's YouTube channel. I make a lot of commentary when they play. It's fun.
Telling him to get good scrub.
Yeah.
Get good.
He's also getting a bunch of us together to do voice acting for like Ace Attorney and Coffee Talk and stuff.
That's cool.
That's fun.
That's cool. That is cool. All right.
I am playing Edith Rossi. She's a rich girl, an Italian rich girl from New York on vacation. That's all she is, probably.
For now. All right. Misadventures is going to air as mini-series campaigns, kind of as it used to, but not as squished together. Each season will be a new story in a different system with a rotating cast, but there will be time between the games so that I have enough time to prep and get good scrub. But if you are interested in playing or you just want to chat with everyone Tales, head over to our Discord server. It is a very silly place to be. I believe we just started a book club or something like that. That's still happening? Is that cool? Not in there. Here at Tales, you're good. Here at Tales, we have many a sponsor. Check the links being dropped. Catch now. You can get discounts at GameStop, Infinite Citadel, formerly known as Day 20, Level 1 Gaming, Raven and Riddle Dicery, and more. Now, we need to address the rainbow-colored elephant in the room. It is my favorite holiday, Pride Month, and this year, it feels incredibly prudent to celebrate extra hard because we are fighting extra hard, which brings me to our fundraiser. We are raising money for Lambda Legal. Since their founding as a 501c3 nonprofit organization in 1973, Lambda Legal has fought and won landmark legal victories that have provided footholds of equality for marriage rights to gay couples, as well as, I believe they helped strike down the United States' remaining anti-sodomy laws. That kind of thing. Right now, the work they're doing is as important as ever, from ridiculous DEI bans to the defunding of HIV and AIDS research. Lambda Legal is fighting tooth and nail to ensure equality for all. They don't charge clients for legal representation or advocacy. They receive no government funding, and they are highly dependent on individual donations. So a donation from you is going to fuel their plan to defend progress that we've made in the past, build pro-equality safe zones, leverage courts as a last line of defense, and educate Americans. If you or anyone you know is in need of assistance, they have an LGBT hotline, 888-843-4546, and a trans lifeline, 877-565-8860. Now, of course, this here is a tabletop role-playing game live stream. And who would we be if we didn't offer you some kind of incentive? If you head over to Tiltify or scan the QR code to make a donation, you can interact with the story. Right now we have milestones that function like Tales does Tales' Thin the Veil, where dark, spooky, and sometimes helpful things will happen if the goal is reached. We also have 2 polls that are live. You can decide what Imhotep's mask does. You can also give one player an auto success, not a crit, on a task or a roll for episode 2. So you can vote on which one of the players you want to give that auto success to. Okay. I think that's all for now. So, why don't we gaze into the void together? Roll intro. Right. Now we open on a dreary city. The clouds are overcast, and fat raindrops have started to patter the city streets. Some might recognize this as Providence, Rhode Island. Obviously, there's a thick sort of smog to the air as cars are brand new and there are no emissions laws. And we will zoom in. It's 1928. We zoom in on a girl who is riding a cute bicycle, desperately trying to get to where she's going. Salty, would you like to describe your character?
Yes. So, Bridget O'Brien is an Irish immigrant. Parents have immigrated over because her father's a science teacher at one of the colleges. And she knows that there is extra credit to be had in class if she makes it to where she needs to be on time. So she is on her brand new Shelby Lindy 1928 bicycle, pedaling through that rain. Red, shortish, curly hair, freckles, and decided to put a sweater on instead of her average coat because this isn't bad. It's not as bad as back home. And is just pedaling her way to her destination.
And in front of you, you can see, as you're pulling up, the kind of dreary fabric awning that's where a bellhop is standing, waiting for people to arrive with their bags, sees you coming and kind of scratches the side of his head, not sure what to do with a bicycle. Would you like me to park your bike for you?
Oh, that would be absolutely lovely.
Okay. Do you have a lock for it?
Aye. And she'll go and out of her backpack just pull the lock and chain.
Okay. He is going to gently take those from you and then just walk the bike over to a bike rack. This hotel is kind of in a mid-range. Like, it's not excessively fancy, but it's also not like garbage. When you walk in, it's very nice looking. There's a very cute chandelier. The front desk is very like neat and orderly. There's marble everywhere. And there is a big sign on one of those sign stand thingies with the 3 legs that says where's my, it says Kingdom of Fire, Egypt's 18th Dynasty exhibit, 17th floor. Keynote speaker Dr. Caitlin Bronson will be giving a speech at 2 p.m. And do you have a watch on?
She would.
You look down at your watch. It's about 1:30.
She has plenty of time to like jot all that down from the notebook and pen that she just pulls out of her backpack,
Mm-hmm.
and then decides to go up the stairs
I
to
love it.
where the exhibit is and wait.
Up the stairs to the 17th floor. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Got plenty of things that she's thinking of until probably about the 2nd or 3rd flight realizes I don't want to do all these stairs.
I feel like I've been there before. Literally last week.
Like you're just so excited, and then realize no.
Okay, and we will pull away from this lovely investigator who does not know that she's an investigator yet. And we will go up to a very nice suite where our fantastic Danny will describe for me their character and what they are doing.
Edith is in a very nice blue dress, very long black hair, updo, done in an up like a really fancy updo. Probably just sitting and sketching and bent, probably ignoring whatever her brother's trying to talk about.
Your brother. How old is your brother again? How much older than you?
Let's see. 19, so probably like 21.
So he has a beverage in his hand. It's a little bit green colored in a martini glass. Very hush hush, very secret, very illegal, obviously. It's the 20s, man. And he looks over and he's kind of been droning on about like your family's legacy, right? And how important it is to hold up the legacy and how important he feels being the one to hold up the legacy. And then his tummy grumbles a little bit. Edith, would you go down to the buffet to get us some snacks? In a classic older sibling move.
You have working legs, you go get it.
But I'm busy.
Busy what? Feeling sorry for yourself?
No. I'm busy thinking about the meeting that I'm going to with Dad later.
Yeah, thinking takes a lot out of you, doesn't it?
Man, I kind of wish it was a Monster Hearts game because I'd be like, damn, roll cold. He kind of like sneers your direction. Fine, I'll go get it myself if you're going to be difficult. You know, one day you're going to have to put something towards this family. Goes.
I've been trying, but everything goes to you.
Well, that's not my fault, is it?
I'm gonna say yes.
Your yes is like barely heard as the door kind of slams. He's so irritated.
Just
What?
realizing, go back to my drawing.
What are you drawing?
Maybe something nice that I see out the window.
Love it. Okay. Then we're gonna come to, I'm gonna say across the hall. Across the hall, in another suite that's pretty nice, we have Kane. Tuck, would you like to describe your character?
Okay, Kane is a pretty tall, dark-skinned man. Very fit, as he just got released from the military for getting into an accident and getting shot in the face, which made him from being very handsome to not so very handsome, or to each their own. He is significantly kind of rough looking, with like facial hair. He hasn't really shaved, in hopes that the giant, now scarred over bullet wound in his right cheek, that the beard would kind of cover up, but it just doesn't. And he currently is in his room with his younger brother, sorry. As he is doing push-ups, and you just hear him complaining to his little brother. You brought me here. 100 for why? For some exhibit that I don't care about. 104, 105.
How old is your younger brother?
Like a year older. Younger. Sorry, a year younger. Yeah.
Okay. I'm taking liberties here. He pushes his glasses up on his nose a little. Well, it's a very cool exhibit you don't even understand. King Tut was the youngest Egyptian king, Pharaoh. I'm so sorry, Pharaoh, in the history of ancient Egypt. And I've been wanting to see this, but we missed it whenever it was in Chicago because we were traveling. So this was the only option.
Right.
Speaking of, it's gonna start soon. I'm gonna miss the keynote speech.
I'm almost done, dude. Just hold on. 120, 101. As he's continuing to do push-ups.
He's like, he gets up, kind of like buttons his little blazer situation, straightens out his pants, stands by the door. Do you insist on doing 150 push-ups every day?
150. And then he'll do the thing where he just pushes up and just lands on his feet. And then he'll start to put his button-up shirt on his leather jacket. And he goes, yes, which is the reason why I'm the big brother and you're not so big. And he like kind of ruffles his hair and push him a little bit.
He like screws up his face in a way that really reminds you of when he was like 5 years old, because he's been making the same face like for the entirety, and kind of like straightens his hair a little bit. Your hand, whenever it came back a little bit greasy because he's got so much product in there, making it like look very nice and coiffed.
And he'll just, because he hasn't cut his hair in quite a long time, so he just has this like big puff of an afro type, and he just kind of takes it and like slick his hair a little bit with it, so it's just one side kind of slick and the rest is just fucking messy. And he's like, look at me, I'm smart and weird, come on man, let's go.
I love it. I love it. He shakes his head, finally walks out the door. Come on, or we're gonna miss it. We're already running late. I wanted to get down there so that we could see what all the artifacts were. And he's just grumbling in the hallway as you're walking towards the elevator.
Okay.
Danny, Edith, you hear the deep gravelly voice that is happening in the hallway. It kind of startles you out of your drawing for a second. Disturbed. But you hear them talking about the exhibit downstairs.
Exhibit. Well, that's gonna be more interesting than staying up here waiting for Bruno to get back. I'm gonna put my stuff up and see what all that's about.
So behind you, Kane, would you describe what Edith looks like?
She has like slightly tan skin, very long black hair that's been put up in a very elaborate updo with a very nice dress. So you know that everything about her screams like money.
You hear her footsteps behind you.
I think because he grew up poor, he has the look on his face of just another rich girl type of look on his face, and he doesn't hide his emotions well, especially after the injury. So when he turns and looks at you, he just kind of goes,
Just ignore that and like, I heard you guys talking about an exhibit. There's an exhibit here.
Yeah.
Is that all you have to say about this wonderful exhibit that we're going to see, Kane? You're so rude, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's your name? This very suave looking, like he's in a pinstripe suit, buttoned up. His hair is, it's kind of on the shorter side, but the curls are very well gelled into like one of those really sleek, smooth hairstyles that you see men in the 20s having. He's got like some little where it's buzzed on the side, and there's like some lines shaped in the side. Very cute, very cutesy, very demure.
Very demure.
My name. What's his name?
That's a real good question. Brian.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Brian. What's your name?
I'll take his hand and shake it. Hi, Brian. It's nice to meet you. I'm Edith.
Very soft hand. Shake. Are you going down to see the exhibit as well?
Yeah, I think so. It sounds very interesting, and to be honest, I don't want to talk to my older brother right now.
I can imagine.
At that, Kane will kind of push Brian, but not like aggressive, just like dude, like type of like chill out type of push with his elbow. Then Kane realizes that he is being rude, so he'll hold out his hand. Kane, and his hand is not soft. Yeah, it's very rough. Yeah.
She doesn't show any like negative reaction to it. Just shakes her hand.
Can we go now to this thing?
Yes. Oh my gosh, the keynote speech is about to start. You are coming right in time. Oh my goodness. Dr. Caitlin Bronson is the foremost in Egyptology. She has been studying for her entire career. And in fact, she went on a trip to Egypt to literally see these artifacts when they were there.
At this point, Kane kind of like scruffs Brian and like as he's like talking, he just drags him into the elevator.
Yeah.
And just like kind of ushers for you to come into the elevator.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, you guys walk into the elevator where the elevator attendant has been standing there for a minute as you guys have been walking towards the elevator because it hasn't really been called. And you walk in, the door's closed. What floor? Brian, noticing nobody speaks.
I look at Brian because I don't know.
Oh, Kane also
Brian
looks at
seems to
Brian.
know where to go.
Kane's like,
I love it. He's like in the back of the elevator behind you guys, so you both turn your faces back towards him, and he's like, 17. And the guy is like, I see. Just a single floor down. Understandable. And the doors close with a soft bing. And the elevator makes some interesting grinding noises as it goes to go down a floor. Bridget, on the other hand, you call an elevator, right? On which floor?
Mm-hmm. On like the third floor.
The third floor. Okay. And they have 2 elevators. So fancy.
Mm-hmm.
One usually to go up and one usually to go down. And your elevator attendant is a woman, and she smiles at you very politely. What floor, dear?
17th floor, please.
Of course. That would be a lot of stairs to go up, sweetie.
Kind of figured that. A little late.
She pokes the button. And we elevator music for just a second, even though I know that there was elevator music then. And both elevators arrive. Well, I guess, no, yours has farther to go. So, Kane and Edith, your elevator arrives first. Very shortly. With a soft ding! And the doors open. Enjoy. Dr. Caitlin Bronson will be at the far back of the room. You'll need to walk through all of the exhibit to the area where the seating is. If you'd like to grab something from the buffet on the way, you are more than welcome. And he just goes back to standing there. Brian.
And
Brian also thanks him. Go ahead.
Kane will give him like the dude a quarter.
He takes it. Thank you, sir. Pockets the quarter.
We'll also.
And you see in front of you kind of a traditional conference floor, but it's fancier because it's a nice hotel. There's marble columns. There's several. It's not like a huge room, but you can tell that there's like one main room and then a couple of bigger rooms on the side that can be individually rented out and are hosting other events at the moment. One of them is... Where's the page? There it is. One of those rooms, as you're walking out, you look to your left, you can see the room. It says Sterling Holmes Wedding Reception. And it sounds like some people are having a wonderful, lively time there. And then a little ways down, there's another sign that says Society of Geological Studies Annual Convention. And Brian sees that sign. Oh, I bet that one's an interesting one to go to as well. But, don't want to miss Dr. Bronson's speech. But gotta go there first. No time for food. Clearly has, like, ADHD or something, where it's like, you can't do anything until, if you have
That
something...
one task is done.
Yeah, until that one task is done. He's like, I'll pick it over whenever everything's done. Can't be that.
I think Kane, knowing this, he will go get food for his brother. Mostly for himself, and because he's not a complete dick, he'll grab something for Edith, even though he doesn't know her.
Aw.
That's very nice of you, thank you.
I felt bad. And then he'll just kind of look off into the distance.
Well, you nothing to feel bad about, I don't think.
He just kind of shrugs.
But thank you.
No problem. Are you really into all of this smart stuff?
Not particularly that, but it was better than sitting in my room by myself.
Understood. And he'll like fold his arms and just kind of stand there. And he does his best to stand behind you and not like in front of you. He's also what I think I said 6'4", so 6'2", 6'4", some shit like that. He's big as hell.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
he's a tall guy.
Yeah.
You shrink your brother.
Oh yeah. The tall jeans did not hit him at all.
No, he's much shorter. But in his opinion, more dapper.
Yeah.
Okay. Edith, you see your brother is also over by the banquet tables collecting little hors d'oeuvres. And he's kind of like, his nose is kind of like turned up a little bit at some of the food options because he's so used to your grandma's cooking. And like Nona's cooking is obviously the best. You guys don't even really do like chef. You guys don't really do catered chef unless you're having an event normally. Nona insists. Doesn't matter.
Nobody argues.
No. Nobody argues. You can't argue with Nona.
No.
But he's kind of like trying little bits and pieces of food. Do you interact at all, or do you kind of like try to avoid being seen?
You just shake my head. When did he even find this?
He smelled the food, man. He was hungry.
Right.
He was hungry and he didn't want to go all the way down because that was a lot more work. And he wouldn't do it for him. To another point, Edith, you see somebody that you know. In fact, he was in the kind of meeting room of your suite. Because Edith, your suite is probably the biggest one in the place, right? Takes up like a whole half of the floor. And there's you and your brother's section where you guys have rooms, and then there's kind of a middle connecting area that has, you know, a dining table and a little mini kitchenette and all that kind of stuff. And then on the other side is your parents. And you recognize a gentleman who is looking at one of the scarab artifacts, just kind of like, you know, looking at it. He's a very dapper looking Italian man, probably around 30. But you recognize him as Signor Vittorio Deodato. And he is a museum curator that your family works with quite often. In fact, he was your connection for loaning some of the pieces here to this museum. He definitely owes your family money. Got a bit of a gambling habit.
Yeah. A lot of people do.
Okay, I think by now, Salty, Bridget is going to come up to the 17th floor. The doors open with a soft bing, and the attendant puts forth a hand. Here is where the exhibit is going to be. The doctor will be giving her keynote speech shortly. There is a buffet along that side of the room. We ask you do not disturb either of the other events going on at the same time. They are closed events, ticketed only. But the speaker will be at the very back, past all of the exhibits. You look around and you can see there's like a handful of people, you know, there looking at the exhibits, waiting for Dr. Bronson to gather everybody's attention.
She's excited. Like, goes to start, like, power walking. Realizes that she forgot to tip the attendant, turns around and flips a quarter just as the doors close.
She like
in there.
catches it. Thank you. Much appreciated. Tucks it into her little pocket. These elevator attendants are like,
maybe they're putting on a show. They're the music inside the elevators.
oh yeah.
She'll go speed walking past the buffet. If there's anything like small that she could grab, you know, like a handful of crackers or something, she's
Sure.
got that and shoved into her pocket. To continue on and go find a seat as close to the front as possible.
They have there's like a kind of a charcuterie spread on one end with like little cubed cheeses and little crackers and olives and tapenade and stuff like that. So you can probably just swipe a few crackers and some cheese if you wanted to.
Absolutely.
Do you have like a backpack?
Yes.
Okay, just for my own brain.
Yeah, she has her backpack on. It has just the normal things, the notebooks, pens. She keeps her spare hair supplies and stuff like that for the going back and forth to school and whatnot.
Of course. Edith and Kane, you guys see Salty. What does your character look like again, real quick, for our two friends here?
She's got she's probably slightly damp still from the rain. Hair is just kind of weighed down a little bit, red, curly-ish, with the orange sweater, long pleated skirt, the bobby socks, and can't remember the name of the shoes, but you know, simple black shoes, backpack on, and is adjusting her glasses constantly as she is holding her notebook and her pen to her and her pencil and starting to bolt towards where the seating is.
You see her swipe the crackers.
Yeah.
Hastily shove them in her pocket and then never missing a beat. She's just rushing there. Kind of reminiscent of your brother King. But, you know, she grabbed food. He didn't.
She'd likely sit next to Kane's brother, to be honest. If there's seating there,
Yeah.
and it's up near the front, as excited as he is, she's gonna be looking for someone with the same energy.
He is like very front. Obviously, there's a few seats that are kind of reserved for faculty members, stuff like that, because the people who work at the hotel have a little bit of a what's the word? Benefit of being able to get front row seating at things that happen at the hotel. But Kane's brother Brian is leaned forward just a little bit, elbows kind of on his knees, hands clasped together. His leg is vibrating just slightly. He seems like he is just ready. He's like looking around. You come to sit down. He says, "Oh, hi. My name is Brian. What's yours?"
Bridget.
Bridget? What a beautiful
I'm
name.
excited for this exhibit.
Me too, Bridget. Where are you from?
Oh, we live here now.
Oh, okay. I'm just
But,
curious.
Ireland.
I'm from Chicago. So, not quite as far, but here with my brother, but don't know where he went.
I mean, there is a buffet back there, but I just kind of grabbed some crackers because I just did not want to miss the keynote speaker.
That's probably where he is. He doesn't really care about being here. I think he's just here because I am.
Better than, being alone.
Sometimes. Depends on the day.
At this point, just like a plate of food just rushes past his Brian's face, and Kane is like, "I do love you, dude."
Oh man, I love you too, bro. I like grabs the plate. Oh man, and you got my favorite cheese, the kind that's got the like white and the yellow together.
And then he'll take it off his plate and eat it.
Man, you're so mean. Fuck.
And he'll like giggle a little bit, and then he'll just kind of look at Edith. I don't know if Edith followed him or not.
If you said that you were going, probably would have.
Yeah.
Kept sitting there.
Love it. You guys all take some seats.
He'll sit down. He just kind of nod at the new person sitting next to Brian, as he saw that they were talking.
Kane, this is Bridget.
Hello.
I'll also lean over. Wave.
We just met.
Are you guys excited about the exhibit too? I heard that the person who originally discovered it died like a year later, under like suspicious circumstances.
I heard that
Right.
too. But, I don't know about... See, and this is why, personally, I wouldn't really be going into any of these tombs. It seems like you're just asking for problems. Like, if I looked at a grave wrong, Mama would... She had a lot to say.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't understand why archaeologists, that's what they're called, make their way. That was more so Took than the character.
Yeah. Hey, it makes sense for your character to also have asked.
Look.
To be honest.
I don't understand why they go and bother things they really shouldn't. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Science. Got to know how things tick, how everything works, how the universe works.
It's very important.
Wouldn't
Makes
the universe be pissed off that we're fucking with things?
If you're not holding it with the proper respect, absolutely.
Right.
You could say taking things. It's very respectful.
You
Yeah.
could. at the same time, I'm just very grateful that we're getting to see it. How else are we going to get to see any of these things?
Exactly.
Pictures, maybe.
It should just be returned to its rightful owners at some point.
You know, that does make
I don't
sense.
think so.
But also, then we wouldn't be able to come and see them. And I do love to see them. It is so fascinating. I can't wait to look. I heard that there is an actual canopic jar somewhere here.
I wonder if it's been opened.
Oh, that's a good question. I also
I
wonder
wonder which organs are in it.
It's the heart. That's kind of cool.
Edith kind of makes a face like.
Edith, you would know that your family loaned the canopic jar, a scarab amulets, a couple of, more like garment style pieces that are necklaces, cuffs, earrings, as well as a very unique piece that nobody else could possibly own, and part of why your family is here. They wouldn't have trusted it to be handled by anybody else. It is so rare.
I will keep that tidbit to myself, but I'll say a little bit flippantly, like, oh, remind me to introduce you guys to one of the museum curators. Seems like you'd be interested to talk.
You know one of the curators?
It'd be so exciting.
Wow.
I
Sure.
wonder how much extra credit I can get for that. Maybe I can get a statement.
You probably could. Are you here for like a school assignment?
If one of the teachers knows that I enjoy these kinds of things and put it out there, extra credit is always a bonus. Gives me something to do.
Sounds like an awesome teacher. I wish I had teachers like that. All of mine just told me that I shouldn't even bother.
Well, that seems kind of rude.
I know. I come from, well, don't worry about it. I'm just not as cool as my brother over here, the war hero.
I'm not really a war hero. And I think this is the first time you see him actually like get almost like shy, but like dude shut up type of look on his face. To Brian. Well, honestly, it's better to have smarts than need to know how to fend off things.
Well, maybe that's why we work out so well together. It's like I'm a smarts and you're like the other part.
You could have said something nice there, Mr. Chance, my friend, but that's okay.
No, but I meant like you're really good at like hitting things and you know that bully that I had in like the 5th grade, and you like punched his nose and then he never bothered me again. That was really cool.
I also got expelled for that.
Yeah, Mama wasn't really happy about that, was she?
No, but I'm glad that you are following your dreams, I guess, and actually became a student.
Excited about it. You know that part of why he wanted to be here so badly is because he's majoring in historical studies and archaeology. So
smart people things.
Yeah. This kind of thing is right up his alley of like, you know, he also will probably get some extra credit and be in line for something smart. Some smart people should.
I think he'll look at Bridget and be like, so you're a student too, I'm assuming, from the whole conversation that I was definitely listening to. for the most part.
Absolutely. The local college.
And extra credit is what exactly? Like extra
Writing
points?
extra papers.
Oh,
Yeah.
more work.
Okay. More work, but it means that, you know, if you have a bad test day or you miss a test, you generally can make it up.
So the two of you are overachievers then.
Yes. You know that I'm an overachiever. I don't think I've ever made an F in my life. Except gym class, when they wanted me to climb that rope.
You really need to do
Always
some
terrible.
push-ups. Both of you really need to do some push-ups.
You know, not everybody is built to run. But on the other side of it, I bicycle everywhere. And
See,
so I can handle it.
that's good. You're working your lower muscles, the leg ones. Clearly trying to flirt, but also like can't think of anything to do with exercise. He is clearly
What the fuck?
he is clearly like
No.
never picked up a weight. I don't
No.
know if he would be able to pick up a weight.
My man got 0 riz, and it's okay.
He looks real cute, you know. He's very like
What matters?
well put together, and he's so smart. But he's just, you know, when it comes to the ladies,
Yeah, no.
he's
Real
like,
awkward.
it's a little difficult. And now there's two really pretty right here beside him.
He's the one who
seems
started
to-
talking to him.
He seems to just now notice whenever he is faltering at trying to say things about being strong. Right? And a soft kind of like a pinkish tinge.
Right.
Anyway.
Edith is just trying to cover up like a like a laugh.
Oh,
Trying to be nice about it.
Kane is not. He is 100% laughing at him.
Like a big booming kind of laugh, or just like a
A small,
lighter
huh.
chuckle.
yeah, like, yeah. I don't want everyone to know that my brother is not good at this.
Wow.
Bridget starts checking her watch because she's just excited and waiting for that time.
I think it's probably been enough time that people start to kind of filter in. You're noticing that some of the seats around you are being taken up. Kind of towards the back, there's a very slick-looking white guy in a suit, and his smile seems fake. Like you can get the vibe of, I need to, like, that guy's gonna try and sell me something. If you ran into him, like, you would probably try to, like, avoid. But he is in a nice suit. More towards the front, there is a lovely brown-skinned woman in kind of a cute frock. She's got one of those, kind of like a dress suit, where it's got the buttons and like a nice little collar, a little bit of flowers, a little hat to the side, and into her very tightly coiled and coiffed hair. She doesn't look quite as well off as a couple of the other people here. Seems like maybe she's not quite comfortable. And then, nope, that's about it. A few other people. Nobody super notable. Everybody wearing pretty nice clothing. But interestingly, all walks of life, because this is a knowledge seminar more so than a wealth seminar. After a
Is
moment,
my brother still over there eating instead of sitting down?
your brother is kind of like peeking in the door to the wedding reception, sincerely thinking about crashing it. Because he knows that that's how you get bridesmaids. Bridesmaids are super fun to hang out with.
I'm gonna try to catch his eye.
I'm gonna have you make a roll for that. Hang on.
Okay.
You're trying to catch his eye. We can do intimidation. Or we could just do a sorry. There's so many freaking skills in this system. I love it. It's great.
Okay.
But there's just so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think are you trying to intimidate or coerce? Like, are you catching his eye in a kind of like, we're doing it over here?
Probably more in a knock it the fuck off because our parents are gonna get mad.
Yeah. So then, yeah, intimidation makes the most sense. If you have something better, you can make an argument for it. But
no, that makes sense.
roll less.
Nope,
Nice.
that's a failure.
You catch his eye, and he kind of like one shoulder kind of drops, and his eyes like slant over to you, and he kind of rolls them. Mouths. Like, you're no fun. And then he
I'm gonna point at him and go.
like there's a silent eyes mouthing, finger pointing sibling battle happening right now. Does anybody? Either of the people? Brian is just kind of like, man, older brothers can be difficult sometimes. Yeah, I get it.
Another punch to the shoulder.
Ow! I'm gonna have a
Shut up.
bruise. Okay, I'll stop.
You're fine.
Fine. You hurt me.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
God.
He's done the big brother like rubbing it like you're fine, dude. Relax.
Rub
type of
some
thing.
dirt on it.
Yeah.
It's very, very reminiscent of like anytime a younger sibling wants to like razz someone back, you know?
Oh
And,
yeah.
like wants to jump in and throw the insults and the punches, but can't really take them.
Yeah. Exactly how I am with my little sister.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Absolutely.
Except I act like the little brother.
Dude,
She's
honestly-
way stronger than me, bro.
Honestly, same. Okay, my younger brother has such a strong, like, he's just very quick-witted, and he could be really sharp, like, tongued, and I'm like, bro, I don't even know you. And then he'll say something, and I'll be like, oh, okay,
All right.
I'm done. Okay. After a moment here, Edith, your brother slips into that room. Not a care in the world. He's dressed nicely enough. And the music begins to shift. Okay, perfect. Okay. Dr. Caitlin Bronson is let me find her picture. She's a very smartly dressed woman. I can't with myself. She's a very smartly dressed woman. She's got some smaller spectacles on. Her hair is a gingery color. And it is kind of like wrapped up into a kind of complicated bun. She kind of walks up to the podium with her little note cards. Got some very dainty features. Hello, everybody. She begins. Doo-doo-doo. Just make sure. Here it is. It's like a linen skirt and jacket that she's wearing. And right next to her, a attendant wheels up one of the podiums, and it's got the canopic jar on it. And she's like, stop there, like to the attendant, kind of coughing at them as they almost run it over her skirt. 3 security guards you can notice have kind of gravitated a little more towards where she is, but they're still keeping an eye on the rest of the place. Danny, Edith would recognize these security guards because your family is helping fund them. Where else would you get that kind of money? They seem a little bit bored, and they're just kind of dozy. They seem a little bit more, I would say, Kane's attitude towards the exhibit than any of the other people here, where it's kind of like, I don't understand why we have to like sit around this room and look at old junk that probably shouldn't have been removed from wherever it came from. Sorry. Here we go. Dr. Bronson shakes a small bell to gather the attention. And she begins. Hello and thank you for coming. This is the Imhotep canopic jar. This fascinating piece dates back to 1325 BC. Canopic jars are normally used to preserve the pharaoh's organs as he crosses over into the afterlife. But a special case was made for Imhotep. And she kind of like takes a moment to look around the room, see who's paying attention. Brian, of course, is like wrapped. You see that he's almost to the point of like where he would raise his hand to ask questions already. Hieroglyphic records from that period tell us that he was an advisor and astrologist for the boy king Tutankhamun. According to those records, he attempted to use black magic to murder the king. Or pharaoh, more appropriately. A woman in the back, her kids you can start to hear them kind of like poking each other. Just 2 small children, maybe 4 years old, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, making a complete racket, pinching each other. And you hear the mom kind of like, shh, shh. Do you want to leave? Do we need to go? Do we need to go right now? Like, she's scolding them kids. The jar's accompanying tablet, she indicates down towards the tablet. It's kind of in the same display, propped up next to the jar. It says that after he was defeated, Imhotep's soul was trapped within this jar in order to prevent his entry into the afterlife as punishment for his wicked deeds. At this moment, the lights go out. The entire exhibition is left in total darkness. You hear from the back of the room some shuffling as a few people push their way to the front, and they seem to be breaking into glass cases. The security guards are rushing forward to take care of them. The woman with the children has grabbed them and held them close. Dr. Caitlin Bronson, what happened to the lights? Where did they go? Somebody needs to stop them. And she's like guarding the canopic jar with her body. Do you guys do anything when the lights go out? Brian is perturbed.
Okay, so he's not doing anything?
Brian? No.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't know what to do, man. But people are stealing these objects, and you hear one voice boom over everybody else's. This is a stick-up. You're all gonna want to stay seated. If you stay seated, no harm will come to you. From the darkness. Everything is happening kind of in shadows.
What does everyone else do?
The general populace of people are kind of like climbing down onto the floor to put their heads down. The mom has her 2 kids, and she's like started to cry a little bit.
Oh.
There's several men here. Well, men and women, you don't know. There's several people here, clearly, by the sound of footsteps, by the amount of glass shattering.
Edith would have stood up to help the bodyguards until it seemed like a robbery. And then she kind of freezes. Because she doesn't know if they're armed.
Would you like to try and see through the darkness?
Bridget has a flashlight that she would pull out of her bag because
Okay.
Sometimes biking home at dark. And once hearing this is a stick up, would turn it on in her hand and then like kind of fling it up and over in another direction.
Okay.
Because then that would give some light, hopefully, to help the security, but also she's not holding the thing that they could shoot at.
Mm-hmm. You do notice, as it flies through the air, Red Jib. Now I said, stay seated and not do anything. And there's a couple of shots that you hear before he kind of like, sorry, my words are escaping me. Words are hard sometimes. My dog's really stressed out beside me because it started to storm.
Oh no.
Red, or you don't know his name yet, but the guy who seems to be in charge of everything, with the strong voice. Men, I said no shots. We don't want to draw more attention than necessary. But you do see that the guards noticed the flashlight and are kind of torn. 2 of them go up towards the canopic jar to also defend that. But one of them has gone to try and interfere with the others. Swiftly receives a bullet to the shoulder and is brought to the ground, holding his shoulder.
As that light has flashed, I think I'm gonna start getting down slowly, but just take a really quick look around to see how many people seem to be on the side of the robbers.
make a... I don't know if that's spot hidden so much as just... Is there a general perception? Let's see.
Spot hidden is
Spot
usually
hidden.
like the
Okay.
perception. Yeah.
Roll a spot hidden.
Have a hard success.
Ooh, very nice. Glancing around as the light kind of like tumbled over, it wasn't a lot, but it was enough that you can see that there are probably about 7 people in the room. One of them has a shock of red hair. And you seeing a flash of his face because you got a really good success. You recognize this as Red Jim McLaughlin. Let me find his description. I don't know. Flipping back and forth does not seem to be helpful for me. There we go. Okay. Yeah. He's kind of a bigger guy, but he is very famous. He has robbed people before, obviously. He's done this before. And he definitely seems to have control of the situation. He's pointing over towards the canopic jar. Get those guards. A couple of his men are going to go subdue those guards, and Dr. Bronson kind of lets out a shrill shriek as the 2 guards who are supposed to be helping very quickly taken out of commission. You don't know if they're dead or not, you just know that they are on the floor.
Is the main guy like kind of like close near where we are by himself a bit?
He seems to be at the back of the seating area. Not too far back, but kind of more central to the room than you guys are. You guys are at the very far. But you can hear at the sound of a couple of gunshots and the screaming that the doors to the other 2 events have been barred and locked.
Ah.
Like the people in there were like, we're gonna be smart and close these doors.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think Kane is like he has made sure Brian is down and safe, but Kane has not moved from his seat pretty much, and he's just kind of like looking around like whatever. Okay.
Your brother nudges you. They're gonna take the canopic jar.
He just kind of looked. Okay.
Just let them. It's revolutionary.
You want me to stop them, don't you?
Well, obviously I want to stop them, but I don't. What am I gonna do?
I think Kane is kind of looking at Brian like, they have guns, dude.
Where's yours?
He just kind of growls at him like, oh my fucking god. What is he? And he'll, I think, because fuck, I can't remember names. So Bridget is like in close, still like kind of sitting, or is she like
what's Bridget doing
next
right
to us?
now?
Yeah.
Bridget was trying to get that light because she also wanted to know like how far away are the robbers from everything. She's still sitting because there's only that tiny little bit of light if they haven't turned it off yet or broken the flashlight.
They haven't yet.
And is looking for an opening to potentially get into the back, or
Cool.
to help the professor, or Dr. Caitlin, if an opening comes up.
I think at that point, King will just. He's very annoyed at this whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just gonna fucking stand up and turn to the main guy and go, seriously, you couldn't have did this shit more quieter, more faster, quicker. You couldn't have waited until we all were not in here. Come on, man.
You're bold. I like it. But I need you to sit down.
No,
Keep it to yourself.
not at all. I don't take orders from you, dude.
Shit. Damn. This is Rez being like, oh, crap, what do I say to that? Hang on, give me a second. I would probably just be like, oh yeah, you're right. I should just go, my bad. Make an intimidation check.
Okay. Me realizing that this game has so many skill checks.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to scroll down so far for that.
That's what I'm saying. I have my keeper reference sheet up, and I'm still like, they're like this big, and I'm like, I can't see.
I think I failed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I failed. Yeah.
Oh, Red Gem chuckles. Haha. Cute. Boys, that one. Two kind of slightly built men start to kind of come your direction. They seem muscular, but they're in all black, very cat burglar vibes.
Very Pink Panther.
Yeah, they're in all black.
I think seeing this, like seeing the guards go down, was already like Edith's disgusted because these are shitty ass guards.
Yeah.
And now this, even more disgusted. This is cartoony. And they got taken down. Idiotic.
Idiots.
How are they approaching Kane? Are they approaching him like with gusto or
yeah?
like...
Well, they seem to be like walking very like a mall walk, but tougher.
Okay,
Tough mall walk.
I think Kane is like, and as soon as the first one get close, he is knocking them the fuck out.
Mm-hmm. And as you go to punch, as you go to punch the first one getting close, your brother feels emboldened, leaps up from the shadows, and goes to tackle the other one from the legs.
Oh fucking hell, Brian! Jesus
It's the only move he knows. He's
Can I try to help Brian?
Yeah. You could also tackle the legs, or what are you doing?
I'll try to trip. I'll let him tackle, but I will try to like help trip him and make him fall.
Okay, alright. I'm gonna need some attack actions happening here. Okay. Oh. Where is the button? Not the button. Thing. They're not buttons. They're just words. Kane needs to make a...
Probably a brawl.
Yeah, a brawl check. Why is that not here? Oh, there it is. I just skipped over it.
It's under fighting.
It's in category.
Yeah, make a brawl check. All of the people doing the thing.
Oh, I'm gonna use... I fumbled. I'm gonna use a luck to make that not a fumble.
Not a fumble. Yeah, that would be real bad to happen soon. Honestly. I'm also going to kind of change.
King was right behind us.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would, if he's trying to punch this guy out, she would probably like push the chair back so he would stumble backwards.
Okay.
To like make Kane more effective. So
make a brawl check as well, or you can,
Oh,
or I will say that you could give Took like an advantage sort of situation.
I would give him an advantage then.
Okay, yeah.
What? How did I just roll twice? Or
Yeah.
No, you would roll and then you would click on the Roll20 where it says bonus penalty. And I think that's like a D10.
oh, okay.
There you go.
And then you add that. Yeah, so yeah, there you go.
Wait.
So that would be a 30.
It's funny because
What is math? 32, right?
Bridget had a success anyway with Brawl.
That's funny.
Okay. Also, make sure you put in the little thing that you succeeded at for later. Like mark that in the little circle.
A little circle.
Okay.
I feel like I'm learning from Danny too. I'm like, yes, Danny, dispense us wisdom.
I've played a lot of Call of Cthulhu.
This is my first time, so you guys be nice to me, okay? Don't be mean. Don't be mean to me.
No
Okay.
complaints.
So that was a 32, you said?
Mhm.
Let me look.
I got a 41, so it's a
41?
success.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 41, and then with the
Penalty
9
9.
bonus.
Okay.
9 bonus. I don't know if that would give you a hard success or not. I can't remember how to calculate that.
Me neither. I am also new, so we are
Yeah,
all learning as we
We're
go.
all
Yeah,
learning. It's okay. We're learning for a good cause. I'm looking for my
Cheat sheet?
little- Yeah, I'm looking at my cheat sheet. Firearms. I have firearms and armor values and forms of damage.
Having the stream up on the side and seeing the weird shit I do is gonna take some me getting used to again.
Right.
I
Mhm.
moved the screen over so I can only see the chat.
Okay. I'm gonna call it a flat success. And oh, here we go. Determining difficulty level. This one's regular, so you'll be at or below 50. That's right, because we're trying to go low. My goodness. That's gonna trip me up. That's what's gonna cause me issues. What was your 49 with the
It was 41.
41
and then
minus the 9?
Then a 9. Minus the 9, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that is definitely
30.
a success.
Okay.
You clock this guy on the jaw. He kind of just goes out cold. In a very cartoonish manner. Deflates down into the ground.
Oh god. Okay.
And the guy that Edith and Brian, that's his name, tackled, he also goes down to the ground, but now it's like they're trying to keep him there. Like he's kind of swinging punches, and he catches your brother on the jaw, and he kind of like, no, but it's still grabbing on because he's very, you know him. He's kind of tenacious when he wants to be. He can hold on to a leg for a real long time. Okay.
I think King will, if he can, he'll just kick the guy in the jaw at that point.
I will say without rolling, because he is on the ground, Red Jim kind of like squints his eyes.
And I
You!
think,
The jar. Let's go. And one of the people is gonna kind of begin running towards the jar to break the glass on that and pick it up. But Dr. Bronson is still standing in front of it. She seems nonplussed by the guns. She spent some time in Egypt. She's traveled a lot of places. Seems like it might not be the first time that she has been in this kind of situation. Pulls out a tiny, kind of like pocket pistol.
oh shit.
It's like literally maybe this big.
Oh, it's a little itty bitty thing.
And she's like pointing it at Red Jim. Now you better go before I don't know why I gave her that voice. She's British. You better go before I get you. Maybe she's quoting a movie. I like it. And Red Jim laughs. His man knocks her to the side before she can get the whole shot off. But it does pop off into the ceiling. And the guy's gonna break the glass and grab for the canopic jar. What's everybody doing? You have subdued 2 of the guards. Red Jim is still in the middle of the room. A bunch of people are still making off with some of the jewelry. Things that are easier to grab now that there's been 3 shots fired, it seems like. And 2 of his guys are subdued. It seems like he needs to get the fuck out of Dodge.
I'm gonna look for a gun on them. On the 2 on the ground.
I will say one of them has a pistol. The other one does not. The other one just has some like brass knuckles on his hand.
I'll grab that pistol.
Okay, love it. Bridget, anything you're doing?
She would also be checking for weapons because that's the one thing she doesn't have on her naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Because the pen is mightier than the sword, but
words have power.
But she's not afraid of throwing a punch or 2. So if there's those brass knuckles, she'll take them.
Love it. Yeah, you see the brass knuckles on the guy's hand. Pick them off. Mark those. Okie
DM. The guy going for the jar, he doesn't have it yet, does he?
I was grabbing you guys' responses to what's happening.
Okay.
But
And a pistol I picked up real quick.
What?
Do you know what kind of pistol I picked up real quick? So I can.
I have that. I do have on my little paper here. I have different kinds of firearms because that's super useful. Definitely for me. Okay, where are we at? It is a. We're gonna say it is 1920s. It's the same kind that your dad has. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm
Derringer. Is it Derringer or Derringer? I'm sure it's Derringer.
No, I went with the 45.
Oh, you went with the 45. Okay. Well, it's a Derringer. It's the one you thought about beforehand.
Right.
Oh.
So it's the same gun that I have too.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
It's the same gun you have. There we go. There's just too many guns in America, you guys. We really need to do something about that.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. As you guys get a hold of some weapons, start grabbing them, the guy who body checked Dr. Bronson out of the way has broken the case, and he goes to grab the jar, but he sees that you guys have weapons on you now, and it makes him nervous. And the jar slips out of his hand, and the seal pops off.
King would just go, seriously, bro.
Disgusted noise.
Okay.
Get better minions.
Hang on just a second here. Woo. Out of this jar, you can't see very well, but there is a big rushing, whooshing kind of noise as the lid of the jar shatters. And that sandy kind of material inside kind of whips itself up into a tornado. And what looks almost like a hand points at Dr. Bronson, and she almost immediately, you can see the light is kind of just hitting half of her face. You can see her face begin to desiccate rapidly into dust.
That is a big word for Tookie. That's a what?
Desiccate. Ha ha ha. Brian, right next to you. Is desiccate means like it is sorry, I'm funny. Desiccate would be to it like rapidly decomposes.
Oh.
In a mummifying, drying kind of way. The skin shrivels, it dries.
The mummy.
Yeah, the mummy. There you go.
Dissolves.
Oof.
And then that kind of whirlwind of dust kind of in what sounds like a big inhale, like a big scatters into the vents. It disappears. But that is, while that is happening, all of the other regular freaking people have begun to book it out. Red Jim was like, nah, fuck that. And he already started going to the exit, so he's long gone. But everybody who has been seated is rushing to get to the stairwells. And I'm going to need you guys to all make dex rolls. Because panicking people don't know better than to trample people who have just literally been saving their life.
That's not what I meant to push. Yeah, no.
Success.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, failure.
Oh shit.
Oh no. You could use a luck to make that not a fumble.
Okay.
It's one.
I ain't got none of that.
You do.
I do?
Got luck.
Okay.
Got
How
luck.
many?
You should have luck. We rolled for that.
We did.
It's under education.
Education. Oh, I see. So would I just
You go to edit mode, go over to luck, and then get rid of one.
Gotcha. Okay.
So how many would you have?
You-
Like
Well, you you would use one to get out of that fumble. Bridget, you'd have to use
Like 30.
34.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna take the hit.
So
I'm gonna fail that. I'll
Okay.
leave it there.
That's valid.
I don't know how things work. I think yeah. Okay, cool.
So you're taking points from
yeah,
your
so
luck.
go to edit mode, and then just -1 from the number that you have.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha. Cool.
Because you're only using one point of luck to get out of the fumble.
Mhm.
Okay, noted. So it's not a fumble, it's just a failure then.
Just a fail. Okay. So
Okay.
Edith, you managed to kind of like crawl underneath a chair so you don't get like yeeted out, trampled over. The other guests, you notice even maybe one or two of Red Jim's guys noticing that Red Jim has left. They all kind of start running, like rushing back towards the stairwell, and Kane and Bridget and Brian. Well, wait. I'm gonna let me just see real quick. Oh wait, that was the wrong dice. I was just playing D&D, so my body was like, roll a d20. JK. Okay, yeah. Brian is able to scuttle up to his feet and gets the heck out of Dodge. But Kane and Bridget, you guys are trampled a little bit. How do I know it's dice? Grab the there, damage. Minor, moderate. We're gonna do minor. You guys are both gonna take 2 points of damage as some feet get you, and then it's kind of like the momentum pushes you up to your feet, and you're swept back towards the stairwells as well with the throng of people. Brian did the same thing Edith did, crawled up under a chair. The person who was going to steal the canopic jar has also ran towards the exit. Like the actual person who dropped it and broke it and whatever. No idea where he went. If you would like to know where he went, you can make a spot hidden roll. Not Kane or Bridget for failing, but Edith could make a spot hidden if wanting to know, wanting to notice.
Too much going on.
Too much going on. Don't get to know. And I'm going to change our music again as silence falls on the room. Dr. Bronson is desiccated, corpse. Front, there's several guys who've been knocked out. The 2 that you guys had subdued are no longer with us. They took too many footfalls to the chest. That will do it, unfortunately. The lights are still out. Edith, you look over and Brian is kind of shaking a little bit under the chair.
I'll go move the chairs out of the way and make sure that he's okay first.
He's just got the one bruise. Okay, I think. But what the fuck was that? And I need everybody to make a sanity roll.
Okay.
Curious about that.
Oh no.
I think Kane is next to Bridget, after getting stumped on, son of a bitch.
Yeah, you guys. No, you guys are literally sardined in the stairwell with a bunch of people who are running down the stairs. I'm gonna after we resolve this, we'll figure out what to do about that. But everybody saw something very crazy, or thinks they might have seen something.
Got a hard success.
Nice.
I take that failure as well.
Not good.
Ooh. Let me look at the rules for failing.
Kane decided to fucking ignore that. I think he's more...
We need to make... I think if we succeed, we have to make an intelligence check.
Yes.
Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Mm-mm.
Bounce of madness.
Okay.
Real.
So you're good. You want to fail that roll.
Yeah.
That's good?
You want to fail
You
the
wanna
sanity
fail
roll,
it.
right?
Cool.
Oh no.
Ooh.
I succeeded.
You
That's
succeeded.
I saw some shit.
You saw
Mhm.
some shit.
I realized what I saw, and that's not good.
That's not. No! No! That's not good. Okay. Bounce of madness. So if you. This is where it gets a little weird for me with understanding. Losing sanity results in another bout of madness.
That's only if you hit a certain threshold.
Okay.
Of our sanity. Then we hit I don't know what it's like.
Okay. So you don't.
A certain amount.
Sanity cost examples. Oh, I love it. So I should roll to see what the failed.
Okay, yeah. If an
sanity?
investigator loses 5 or more points in a single roll, they suffer emotional trauma.
Okay.
And we get a indefinite insanity on a table.
Okay. But this little chart determines how many sanity you lose, right? Is that how that works? Or do you just subtract?
That sounds right.
We're learning together, you guys. It's great. I love learning.
So yeah, you need to make a roll of what sanity we lose, but I can't remember.
I'm going to
It's
say
a D6.
it seems like there's a bunch of different, like if it was just the mangled human corpse and some dust doing some weird shit, right? So I'm gonna call it 1d4 plus 1. So not too crazy. Right? And who... I'm confused. It's fine. I rolled a 2, so then that's 3.
Okay, so I would lose 3 sanity.
You lose 3 sanity for succeeding
I
on
think...
the sanity check? Because
succeeding the intelligence check, because I've realized what I saw is
you saw. Yeah. Okay. Got you. You lose 3 sanity.
I think Kane's fine.
Kane, you kind
failing
of
on the sanity check.
Failed.
Yeah.
So I think
you
can't remember what you do on a failure.
Failed.
I think you also take it.
Okay. Cool. Levels. Yeah, that's my little paper didn't really tell me. Didn't really tell me. Yeah, so Bridget will also take the 3 sanity.
Fix that right now.
Did Bridget succeed or fail the intelligence check?
Oh, when you fail a sanity roll, the keeper gets to momentarily control your next action, as if your takes hold of you.
And that's a permanent loss of sanity, correct?
Yes, until you either get help at a hospital, or we get some back at the. I think we get some back at the end of like an arc or
Right.
a chapter.
And I'm just saying, if we did manage to get to the veil thinning, that like we might gain some from that. It just kind of depends.
Because she'd be looking at that and equally horrified and equally fascinated.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
what did you get on the intelligence part?
I didn't roll the intelligence because
Okay.
I thought with a failure you don't roll that because it's an auto.
No, I
Oh,
don't.
it's with the success
Don't-
that you
yeah.
roll it.
Mhm.
Okay, my bad.
My failure was over 20 points, and I'm not going to blow through all my luck in the first session.
Yeah, that's super smart. Super smart. Okay. So that's the 3 sanity points. Okay. And I will say, Bridget, you are kind of in a state of shock. You're kind of letting yourself be pushed down the stairs, going along with the people. Trying to reconcile what you saw with what you scientifically know to be true, because there's going to be some kind of explanation. There had to be something. So you're kind of stuck in a loop of trying to wrap your mind around and figure out what kind of thing happened. Edith, you are horrified. Let's see. I'm gonna roll a D10 real quick to get some. You grab Brian and start booking it towards the stairwell as well. Because if nothing else, you definitely don't want to be here anymore.
No, especially if that weird dust comes back.
Yeah, especially if that weird freaking dust comes back. What a weird thing to witness. And
What
as
happened to her face? I don't know. I don't understand, but I saw it.
You
I
know,
think-
Kane is grabbing Brian and just dragging him out.
you are kind of stressing right now, actually, because you and Brian got separated. You were pushed with the throng of
Oh yeah, with the
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you're in the stairwell and you're kind of looking back, being really frustrated that you can't
Get back to him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
Okay,
I think your sanity is maintained because you just like you're like that's
Ignoring that. He's
Yeah.
pretending like it didn't happen.
That
He's
didn't
like,
happen. That didn't happen. I'm not touching that.
true to
Nope.
my own nature.
Mhm.
Nope.
Nope. Not-
Spooky shit.
No.
Don't acknowledge it. It didn't.
It didn't happen. You repress it a little bit. Can't remember the
Oh, yeah.
details. But as our investigators are either being pushed kind of violently down the stairs, or running after the throng of people that are going down the stairs, I'm wondering if what the fuck they just saw, as who knows what is loose in this hotel and the power is off. You guys, I think we'll leave it there and pick up next time to see exactly what we make of this peculiar situation and why are a few young adults going to be the people who have to deal with it. So, yeah.
Question.
Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time. Are you ready for more tales? Always.
Always.
That's what we say. And
I was muted.
Oh,
No.
sorry. Take two.
Always.
Take two. Are we ready for more tales?
Always.
Always.
Beautiful.
Bum, 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 bum.
Ba-ba-bow.